Congratulations, you just found the secret video. Since you found it, I got a present for you. Just hold on. I'm gonna give you something I probably shouldn't. This video isn't titled properly, it's not packaged properly, and it's definitely not something the algorithm should be pushing, which means you either clicked for a weird reason, or you're the kind of person that keeps looking when there's nothing obvious to click. And that matters more than you think, because I made this video for a specific type of reason. If you're here right now, you probably fall into this whether you realize it or not. So here's the deal, since you found this video, the secret video, I'm gonna give you something, not in a subscribe, like, do all this kind of way. None of that matters. I'm gonna give you one idea that if it actually clicks for you, will change literally everything you do after this. The problem is most people wouldn't even make it far enough in this video to hear it. So if you're still here in like 20 to 30 seconds, it already tells me you're not like most people watching stuff on here. Just don't skip, because if you miss it, it's gonna sound like everything else you've already heard. Because the internet has kind of turned into a place where everything is screaming at you from the front page. And somehow this weird little video you were not supposed to click is the thing you actually clicked on. Which means one of two things happened. Either the algorithm had made a mistake, or you're exactly the kind of person who keeps clicking when everyone else has already left. Listen, most people online really don't look for things anymore. They get fed things. They get lost into whatever's trending, whatever's loud, whatever has the biggest thumbnail with the widest possible mouth. And I get it, that's just the internet now. It's a giant machine trying to figure out what your brain will tolerate for at least 12 seconds. But every once in a while, somebody clicks something that feels a little off, a little hidden, a little niche. And that is usually where the real people actually are. So if you're here, that's great. You're in the right place. And I do mean that literally, because this video is not about being a secret video. That's just the doorway. The actual video is about something I've been thinking about for a really long time. Why do so many creators, so many people on the internet now feel the same? Why does everything feel like it just got cloned on the internet? The same energy, the same pacing, the same face shock. You will not believe this face. The same voice that sounds like it's trying to talk to just trying to captivate your attention every second. And the thing is, a lot of these people aren't just bad at making content. They just started optimizing for the same thing. Retention, pacing, packaging, hooks, scroll stopping, which sounds smart until you realize you've basically built an entire culture around not sounding like a person. I'm not saying that I'm above it. I'm doing the exact platform dance as everyone else. I see the dip at 3 seconds and I think, wow, people can just look at me and then almost reject it instantly. Because the more the internet just becomes optimized, the more obvious it becomes when someone is actually just being themselves. And being yourself is one of those phrases that gets abused so much. It almost means nothing now. I don't mean be yourself in the motivational poster way. All I mean is stop trying to sound like the most statistically safe version of a person. Because the weird thing is, people can feel that. Even if they can't explain it, they can feel when a creator is talking to them like a human being versus talking to the algorithm while pretending to look at them. And the difference is actually everything. That's why some channels get views and some channels get people. Views are extremely easy. Views are just traffic. Views are just somebody passing through the gas station, buying a drink and leaving. People are different. People come back. People remember who you are. People connect. People know what kind of thoughts you have before you even say them. People start to recognize you. And that is a much harder thing to build than just a number. A big number can happen accidentally. A real identity cannot. Being you is a pattern. It's the accumulation of how you see things, what you notice, what you refuse to pretend about, what you keep coming back to. That is why, for me, the most interesting part of content is not what performs. It's what makes somebody say, wow, this is a video that feels like a person made it. And I feel like I'm leaving with something after watching it. This is the bar now. Not viral, not clickable, not even good in the normal sense. Just human enough to feel real. And that's harder than people think, because most of us are infected with the same problem. We are all performing our own personality now. Think about it. Every opinion is shaped. It's been already tested on an audience. Every sentence is trying to survive being clipped. So now everybody just sounds like a little brand. And a brand is useful when you're selling something. But when you're trying to make people care about you, a brand is a very weird thing to become. Because nobody actually falls in love with a brand. They might buy from one, they might trust one, they might use one, but they don't feel seen by one. And I feel like that's what a lot of people are starving for online. Not more content, not more noise. They want to feel like somebody on the other side of the screen is actually thinking with them, not just at them. Which is why the internet is so dystopian right now. We have more access to more people than in any generation in history, and somehow loneliness still feels like the default thing. because being seen is not the same thing as being known anymore. You can have 1 million views and still be completely invisible. You can be in everybody's feed and still not feel like a real person to anyone. A lot of people are building audiences like they're building a wall around themselves. They get more views, more comments, more attention, and somehow become less legible as a human being. Everything is turned into a productized personality, which is why I like making these videos that are slightly off format, which is why I like people who feel slightly off format, the ones who don't fit into the machine, the ones who actually have an opinion that is not polished enough to be universal, the ones who can say something and tell you they came from an actual place in their life, not just some made up story. These people always stand out to me because I think these people are more interesting than content. I know that sounds obvious, but it's not how the internet behaves. The internet behaves like content is the point, and people are just a vessel, which is why I don't trust videos that feel so perfect. Not because perfect is bad, but because perfect usually means nobody risked anything, and if nothing was risked, nothing actually happened. Best videos to me are what have their flaws. You can feel the fingerprint, you can tell somebody made something, you can tell it's not fully optimized for attention. That's what I think makes a creator memorable. Not perfection, not polish, a recognizable mind. That's the thing I want to build. Not just a channel, not just a page, a recognizable mind. Because eventually the content starts to matter less than the person behind it. And I think most creators are afraid of that. They would rather be liked by everyone than understood by the right people. I think people online, for example you, have realized they don't want to be one of everybody. They want to find their lane, their taste, their tribe, their little corner on the internet where people actually speak the same language. That's what our community actually is. It's not just a subscriber count in a Discord with 40 tabs and people constantly talking in it. A community where people recognize your thinking before they recognize your name. It is where the same people keep showing up, not because you're screaming at them to, but because something in what you say feels familiar. That is way more powerful than just pure reach. It's also harder to fake, because people can tell when you're just trying to build a community as a strategy. The phrase has been ruined a little bit too, to be honest. Everyone wants to be building a community like it's a feature you unlock. But community is not a tactic, it is the byproduct of telling the truth in a way people can actually live inside. My whole goal is, can I make something that feels like a person? Can I make something that does not just get seen, but gets remembered? Can I make something in a way that makes the right people lean in and learn something a little bit? Congratulations again.
Thank you.
You found the secret video. Or maybe you found the part where it stopped being a joke. Either way, you're here now. And honestly, that's really what matters the most.